Salut la team, j'espère que vous allez bien. On se retrouve aujourd'hui pour une nouvelle interview d'un combattant. Et comme vous avez pu voir dans le titre, il s'agit de Sodiq Yusuff, qui est un combattant américain d'origine nigériane. C'est un combattant de 32 ans. Ça fait déjà plusieurs années qu'il est à l'UFC. Il a en 13 victoires et 5 défaites. Il a combattu la majorité de sa carrière en featherweight, c'est-à-dire en moins de 66 kilos. Et pour son dernier combat, il est monté une catégorie pour combattre en lightweight en moins de 70 kilos. Et je vous fais simplement cette petite intro, déjà pour présenter Sodiq Yusuff aux personnes qui ne le connaîtraient pas. Mais aussi pour vous prévenir que forcément le reste de la vidéo sera en anglais avec les sous-titres en français. N'hésitez pas à me dire dans les commentaires ce que vous avez pensé de l'interview et n'hésitez pas à liker et à vous abonner si ce n'est pas déjà fait. Et moi je vous laisse avec le reste de la vidéo. So Sodiq, thanks for being here. Thanks for your time. I know it's been a busy summer for you, but first
Yeah,
of all, how are you doing?
I can't complain, man. Just healing up, getting things going with the gym. So things been very chaotic, as you see.
You had two surgeries this summer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Can you talk to me a bit about what made you have the surgeries and how did it go?
yeah. It's two discectomies because two herniated discs. I have a few herniated discs, but those are really really bad. Those are the ones that was causing chronic pain. So chronic pain in my back and my legs, and chronic pain in my neck. So it went really. Both of the procedures went very very well. I'm just now starting to do light contact, so I can't give a full full analysis on how good it is, but so far so good, and God God willing it stays that way.
Before your last fight, you said that you wanted to be pain-free. Do you feel like with those surgeries, it's going in that direction?
It is, yes, it's starting to go in that direction. So I still feel a little bit in my back, but it's a lot better than what it was before. And progressively it's starting to go away. And the neck is not as stiff as it used to be. So hopefully in about a month from now I could give a real answer, but it's heading in that way.
Okay, and do you know how much time you have to rest before real contact and real training?
So they want about maybe 3 weeks of light contact to see what it's like. And then if that's okay, then we could go all the way.
Before we talk about your last fight, I just wanted to ask you because I'm not sure. What's your background in martial arts? Or what, when and where did you start? And what made you become a professional
So
fighter?
I started out wrestling in high school. That was the first thing I did. And then after wrestling, I only wrestled for about 2 years in high school, and then I just started training MMA fully.
So it was like at 18 years old.
Yeah, I started at
Yeah.
18. Yeah. So it
Okay.
was that about 14 years of martial arts.
Okay. And you fought amateur before fighting pros, right?
Yes, I want to say 9 or 11 amateur. Yeah, I had a few amateur MMA fights. I was undefeated as an amateur. Then I turned pro in 2016, and I got on the contender in 2018.
Just I was thinking about it, but where were you in high school?
Maryland.
Maryland. Oh, okay, okay. So about your last fight, I wanted to ask you like why taking this fight on short notice because you knew that you were coming off two losses and you had like a year of layoff.
Yeah.
What was the thought process behind this?
To be honest, a lot of it is just I wanted some competition, and I didn't want to sit out because I knew I was about to do the surgery too. So I didn't want to sit out that long without it because if I didn't take the fight, then I would have been without a fight for almost 2 years because the surgery was coming up too. And this is how I feed my family, so I got to get paid.
Yeah, okay, okay. So you are going to have those two surgeries in the summer for sure.
Yes, yes. Because I was
Okay.
supposed to have it before. I was supposed to have it before the fight, but I didn't. I didn't want to sit out that long without making some money.
Yeah, okay, I understand. And it was your first time fighting at 155, so in lightweight.
Yeah.
How did the weight cut go, and how did you feel during the fight?
The weight cut went a whole lot It was a lot better. Even the fight week was good too. And the fight, I feel like it was more energy. I didn't feel like I was super tired or anything like that. So it's one of those things where I see myself bouncing between both, but 55 is definitely a lot more comfortable. But I do know like guys get a lot bigger in that weight class, especially the taller guys when you start
Yeah,
getting to like the 6 foot guys.
yeah. So right now you don't know if you want to stay there or if you want to like switch between the two.
Mm, yeah, no, nothing settled.
About the fight itself, so you lost by decision. What do you take from that fight? Or about your performance and everything.
Uh, it wasn't nothing crazy. The kid is good. Is a good kid, and to be honest, I was just so detached from that fight that I didn't even dwell on it at all. I still have to go back and reprogram it. I was really just thinking about how bad my body felt. Like as soon as the fight was over, I was like, all right, let's go get this surgery. I literally said it inside of the cage, like when it was over. It was like, man, all right, we gotta go fix my body.
Yeah, and during the fight, did those thoughts came up?
Yeah, yeah, a few times against the fence, like against the fence, a few times like when I'm holding the takedowns. I thought about it often, but it's a chaotic fight, man. I
Yeah.
tried I try to stay focused as much as possible.
How much did the because in the at the beginning of the second round, he hit you with some sort of a high kick. How how hurt were you?
I don't want to say it was hurt, but I definitely didn't see it coming. And when it landed, it took away a lot of my vision. So I didn't see it coming at all. So that it definitely rocked me a lot. And from then on, the blood was just in my eye for the rest of the fight. So it was a solid kick, and he hit it very well.
Also, in the first round, I don't remember you doing it in the second or third, but maybe I'm mistaken. But you were doing the pa 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 pa. Pa.
Bettered his game. Santos really sitting down on those strikes. Yeah, he really just keeps.
And I don't feel
Yeah, yeah.
like you did it in your fight before. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't feel like
Yeah, you just might not hear it, but
yeah.
it's sometimes I do it when I'm trying to get my rhythm.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Um, Ideally, like you're going to have some time away. If you had the chance to decide, when would you want to come back?
Man, it's definitely in the air right now. Like I really want to focus on getting stable with the gym first. Like right now, I don't have a plan. With me, man, things are sporadic. I might just wake up tomorrow and be like, "Fuck it, let's fight." So I don't want to put any false promises out there. I might wake up tomorrow and say I never want to do it again.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it is what it is.
Yeah, you just talked about your gym. Can you talk to me a bit about what's the plan with it? What's the development going?
Yeah, it's gonna be an MMA gym around here. Uh, it's not that far away from where I was training at. It's just on the other side of town, because I also do a lot of stuff when I go back home to Nigeria. So I'm trying to see if I could start something back there too, but I just have to start a solid foundation here first.
Talking about Nigeria, Israel Adesanya and Cameron Usman talked about it. I think it was a few months ago, and they were like saying that there is a lot of potential in Africa in general, but also in Nigeria, of course.
Mhm.
And there is a lot of potential in Africa youth, but they lack opportunities.
Yes.
I know that you do some stuff over there in Nigeria, and you go to Nigerian events and African events and everything. Can you talk to me a bit about the work you do with it?
Yeah, I've been way before I was even in the UFC. I was always able to like do like a lot of charity stuff. And the further I got with my career, the more I was able to help out. But now that I'm in a position that I am, I've been able to use a little bit more connections to help out with sanctioning events. Like a few of the guys that are with AFC, kind of sanction the sport in Nigeria. That way, it could start having a little bit of more government help, to where maybe the government will start interfering to like sponsor kids and stuff like that. So that's something that I'll always be able to stand behind. But that's removed from the charity stuff I do. The charity stuff I usually do is just helping like neighborhood kids and like helping like the local community. One day I'd like to have it to be very big, to where like it's a huge organization, but little steps matters too. You never know who could end up being somebody at the end of the day, because one day one of these kids might be the one who break out, and then they could give back too.
Yeah. Is the long-term plan to have an African organization, MMA organization?
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
or at least more consistent ones. Because I know Usman has been doing one that's pro. The AFC guys have been doing one that's amateur. So if they could have a few more avenues to have pro shows there, because the UFC is such a monumental task for certain countries, like it seems like something that's just so far removed that they don't even think about it, or they don't know the pathway to get there. So the more professional shows that they have there, that they could start competing amongst themselves, then that could lead to an avenue to potentially get to the UFC one day. I like what PFL is doing. A lot of the guys have been able to get signed to PFL Africa, so that's a good look for them. But they definitely need more shows in the country itself.
Yeah. How do you see Nigerian MMA evolve? Because there are a lot of Nigerian fighters that are coming up and everything. How do you see it evolve in the future? Like, do you feel like the Nigeria can, at some point in the future, become like a big MMA country?
Absolutely. That's why the government then is important, because that's why these like Dagestan and other countries are so big, because the culture of the country revolves around these combat sports,
Yeah.
and the governments like actually invest in it. Like here in the US, a lot of the culture is around like basketball and football. That's why they excel at those sports. So if we could have Nigeria start being funded by either any one of the martial arts, that could just be the avenue to grow everything else around it.
There is another thing that I wanted to talk to you about. Um, you fought Mike Davis in the Dunaway Contender Series in 2018. It
Mhm.
was one of the most incredible and violent fights, not just for me, but for a lot of people like that we have ever seen.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me a bit about like the mindset coming up to this fight? Because it's such a specific type of fight in which l- like you can achieve what most MMA fighters dream of.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of the best. To be honest, I'll probably say that's the best fight of my career, because that's the one that everybody always remembers, that everybody brings up when we go back. But you gotta remember, like back then, that was the second season of the Contender, so it wasn't like. And back then, they were giving out like one contract every day. It's not what it is now, where
Yeah.
they're like signing five people. So you had to put on your best performance, and like to me, it was like, hey, this is like, give win or lose, like you have to go out crazy. And I think it was like a perfect combination of events, like being in that small apex. Back then there was no crowd at all. It was literally just your coach and your family. So it was very, very quiet. Mike Davis is a very good dance partner, to where like both of us are like power punchers, and we both decided to meet in the middle and go crazy. So it was just a perfect combination for things to go on. I'm glad now it's starting to get more of the recognition it deserves. Before, like, people were like, man, we had the best fight in Contender Series history, and people would not talk about it. But these days, it's starting to get more recognition.
Yeah, for sure. Before I let you go, do you want to promote, I don't know, your outside air or your
Yeah,
air
no, no,
guitar?
yeah, no. Everything with me is just the stuff I've been doing online. I just got back from Nigeria 2 days ago, because we was doing the stuff with the kids back there too, and Izzy helps me out with that often. So there's not much to promote. Everything you see with me, I post it online.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for your time, man. I hope that everything's going to heal like the proper way. And yeah, thank you, man.
Of course, man. Peace.